Jack Harper had faced plenty of weird gigs hauling cargo across the stars, but nothing could have prepped him for this. He was in a rusted medbay on a derelict space station, heart pounding, about to use his, human protrusion to disarm a biobomb lodged in the sacred chamber of Zara, a 10-foot alien titan. Zara wasn't just any giant. She was the galaxy's most feared warlord, a name that made even Signer tech cultists tremble. As she barked, "Do it, human!" and Jack's nerves screamed, he flashed back to how he'd gotten roped into this insane fix. It kicked off at Void Spire, a crumbling space station orbiting a dead pulsar. The airlock groaned, spewing air thick with rust, burnt oil, and the sharp tang of fear. The station's chaos, traders bartering, drones sparking, halted when Zara stormed in. Eyes locked on her, then dropped. People bolted like rats from a plasma leak. At 10 feet, Zara was a walking cataclysm. Her presence could choke a star. She marched forward, boots slamming the deck. Boom, boom, with a swagger that screamed trouble. Her pointed ears twitched, catching whispers. That's her, the scourge of Vaxis. She raised a temple on Karotha's veil. They say she doesn't feel pain, just rage. Zara stifled a snort. The rumors were always over the top. Yeah, she was a warrior. Yeah, she'd left worlds in ashes. But devouring souls? Please. She liked smoked kelp tea. The crowd scattered like dust in a void wind, dodging her violet glare, fear thick as reactor sludge. Usually, Zara ignored it, cutting through stations or battlegrounds with equal disdain. But today, someone didn't move. A human stood in the path, wrestling a dented crate that looked like it had been through a supernova. He was lanky, with dark hair like a static storm and a jacket smeared with grease, or maybe bad luck. Unlike the others, he didn't flinch. He sighed, shifting the crate. Perfect, he muttered. Another cosmic bulldozer blocking my route. This day's just stellar. Zara froze, caught by his nerve or maybe his sheer exasperation. She tilted her head, sizing him up. No weapons, no bounty hunter grit, no cultist tattoos, just a freighter. Interesting. She stepped closer, expecting him to quake when he realized who she was. He didn't. He sighed again, gripping the crate. Look, lady, he said, irritation dripping. It's been a garbage day and my arms are about to quit. Move, or this crate's hitting your boots or my toes. Neither's going to make my week. Zara felt a spark of confusion. She crossed her arms, her voice low, heavy with a blood-forged legend. Everyone fears me. Why don't you, human? He blinked, like he was just now clocking the stakes. He scanned her, armor, stance, the aura of someone who'd burned stars, and walked away humming. Then, to her shock, he shrugged. Ever had a cargo hold blow at SEAL's mid-jump, leaving you drifting in Raider space? Zara frowned. No. Well, I have, he said. Ever had to bribe a portmaster with your last credits because your shipment got flagged as hazardous for no damn reason? No. Ever had a client threaten to space you because a load of nanogel got swapped with cleaning solvent? Zara paused. No. Then you're in luck, he said, shifting the crate. You're not the worst thing I've dealt with today. Silence. Zara stared. He groaned, set the crate down with a clang, and stretched, joints popping. Then he stuck out a hand. Jack Harper, cargo hauler, chaos magnet, survivor of cosmic nonsense. Zara eyed his hand, then his face, a face that said he'd made peace with the galaxy's insanity and was just along for the ride. She shook his hand firmly. Zara. Pleasure, Zara, Jack said. Now, unless you're here to fry me, I gotta get this to Bay 9 before my client docks my pay. Zara considered. She could crush him, but she didn't want to. For the first time in years, she was curious and wary. I'll come with you. Jack raised an eyebrow. Okay. Just so, people are staring like I just befriended a void kraken. Zara glanced at the gaping crowd, some on the verge of fainting. Their problem, right? Jack said, hoisting the crate. But if I get kicked out of a bar over this, you're buying? Zara's lips twitched. Noted. And so, the galaxy's deadliest warlord and a scrappy freighter walked through Void Spire, leaving stunned spacers in their wake. The tale would spread for light years. Jack was sure this was a bad call. You don't pal around with a living nightmare. Zara, the scourge of Axis, a name that made planets quake. Yet here he was, escorting her like she was just another spacer. Typical Tuesday. Jack grunted as the crate dug into his arms. You know, he muttered, for a galactic terror, you're weirdly quiet. I'm waiting for you to growl, or say I'm not worthy to share your air. Zara tilted her head, ears flicking. Would you prefer that? Nah, Jack said. It'd just be awkward if I bolted screaming. As they weaved through the station, reactions ranged from panic to morbid fascination. Spacers muttered into comms, vendors slammed shutters, and one dramatic trader clutched his chest and collapsed into a scrap pile. Jack sighed. This your usual scene? Zara shrugged. It's practical. I don't wait in line. Jack nodded. Fair. Ever wish folks saw you as more than a walking doomsday? Zara didn't answer right away. Instead, she pointed at a flickering hollow sign for a stall hawking semi-safe nutrient bars, low chance of poisoning. Is that edible? Jack squinted. In theory. You'll live, but your stomach might send hate mail. Zara nodded. I'll try one. Jack blinked. Seriously? She was at the stall. The vendor, a four-armed Vren with a face like he'd lost a bet with a laser, froze. You're the scourge. Zara slapped a credit chip down. One of your semi-safe bars. The Vren squeaked, whipping up a bar at warp speed, hands shaking, grease flying. Jack rubbed his temples. This is going to be a show, isn't it? A minute later, the vendor handed Zara a bar. She studied it like a tactical schematic, then took a bite. The station held its breath. She chewed, swallowed, and nodded. Adequate. The vendor nearly collapsed. Jack gaped. You ate that? If you don't keel over, I'm adding iron gut to your rap sheet. Before Zara could reply, Jack's comm buzzed. He sighed, juggling the crate to tap his earpiece. Harper, if that cargo isn't at Bay 9 and 5, I'm spacing you. Captain Morgan's voice roared. Jack winced. Cap, long story. No stories, no excuses, no bullshit. Morgan's tone was homicidal. Moo! Jack turned to Zara. Well, terrifying war lady, as fun as this is, I gotta deliver before my boss goes supernova. Zara nodded. Then we move faster. Jack was about to agree when a chill hit him. Zara tensed, scanning the dock. From the shadows, Jack spotted figures in hooded robes, glowing sigils on their chests. Tech cultists. Jack exhaled. Great. Pals of yours. Zara's face darkened. No. The leader, a gaunt figure with a cybernetic eye and a sneer Jack wanted to punch, stepped forward. Well, he hissed. The scourge, parading like she doesn't have a death mark from the Signer Order. Bolt. Zara's stare could have melted a core. The cultist chuckled. Surrender, and we won't reduce this station to ash. Jack cleared his throat. Quick question. If the station blows, do I get hazard pay? The cultists, I snapped to Jack. Who's this fool? Just a guy trying to deliver, not keen on getting fried, Jack said, nodding at Zara. Can we pencil this doomsday for next week? I'm free Thursday. One cultist faltered, confused. The leader sneered. You were the dead titan. Zara's lip curled. You talk too much. She moved like a bolt. Before anyone blinked, she snapped the leader's wrist with a gruesome crunch. He screamed. Chaos erupted. Jack ducked a plasma bolt that singed his hair. Why is it always me? Zara tore through the cultists like a storm. One flew into a crate with a kick. Another crumpled from a chest punch. A third tried to run, but Zara's thrown blade pinned his robe, and he dropped. Silence fell. Jack exhaled. Well, that was a thing. Zara stepped over a groaning cultist. Finish your delivery. Jack glanced at her, the cultist, then back. Yeah, good plan. They hit Bay 9. A battered security drone scanned them with a red beam. State purpose. Jack lifted the crate. Delivery for Bay 9. We cool. The drone buzzed. Cargo scan required. Jack groaned. Come on, my boss will kill me. Think I'm smuggling death rays. The drone droned. 39.8% of evaders use similar deflections. Jack scowled. You suck. Zara loomed, her stare rattling the drone circuits. We're done. The drone whirred nervously. Processing. Approved. Proceed. Jack's jaw dropped. That's it. Zara marched on. Efficiency. Jack laughed. I've argued with drones forever, and you just glare and win. At Bay 9, the Star Skipper waited, a freighter held together by hope and tape, scarred from what Jack called creative parking. Captain Morgan stood at the ramp, arms crossed, silver hair glinting, violet eyes drilling Jack. You're late, she snapped. Jack grinned, dropping the crate. Technically, I'm here, so... Morgan raised a hand. Why Zara, the scourge, trailing you like a bodyguard? Jack opened his mouth, shut it, glanced at Zara, then back. Zara said calmly, he's assisting me. Morgan squinted. Jack's not an assistant. Jack raised a finger. I'm assisting, so... Shut it, Harper. Morgan cut in, pinching her nose. Fine. If she's not here to gut us, I'm good. Zara nodded. I'm not. Peachy. Morgan said dryly. Unload that crate, Harper. Now. Jack saluted. On it, Cap. He dragged the crate up the ramp, muttering about labor laws. Zara turned to Morgan. He's odd. Morgan snorted. That's generous. She eyed Zara. Why hang with a screw-up like him? Zara paused. He's unpredictable. Morgan raised an eyebrow. Unpredictable? If Jack Harper's your type, you're in for a wild ride. Aboard the Star Skipper, Jack fiddled with the NAV console. Zara stood in the lounge, radiating menace, eyes scanning like she expected a cultist to pop from the vending machine. Venez seat? Jack asked. Grab a drink that's not pure chaos? Zara's gaze flicked to him. I'm fiending. Sure, Jack said, but you're standing like you're about to arm wrestle a pulsar. Zara tilted her head. Readiness stance. Jack groaned. This is a freighter, not a death match. Freighters get ambushed, Zara said. Jack sighed. Not lately. Can you fake relaxing? Zara stared, then sat deliberately like she was testing gravity. Happy. Not bad, Jack said. Why's your ship so beat up? Jack bristled. The Star Skipper is in prime condition. Zara tapped a panel. It rattled loose. Jack coughed. Mostly prime. The comms crackled. Harper, trouble. Morgan snapped. Jack grimaced. When isn't there? Stow the sass. Unknown ship tailing us. No ID. No response. Just outside scan range. Zara stood, tension spiking. Show me. On the bridge. Morgan glared at a blip on the scanner. I hate stalkers. Zara studied it. They're waiting. That's what freaks me out, Morgan said. They're after me, Zara said. Jack groaned. Awesome. Your fan base is crashing our party. They're strategic, Zara said. They'll strike when we're isolated. Morgan growled. So, the second we hit open space, they'll hit. The proximity alarm screamed. The enemy ship closed in. Shields up, Morgan yelled. A jolt rocked the ship. Lights flickered. Hull at 89%. Minor breaches, the system reported. Rude, Jack shouted. Zara headed for the weapons bay. Jack got twisted. Where you going? To stop them, Zara said. Morgan's eyes bulged. You can't just. Too late. Zara grabbed a plasma cutter and mag grapple, sprinting for the cargo hold. Jack and Morgan chased as she rigged the grapple. You're insane, Morgan yelled. Zara launched out, a force field shimmering. She landed on the enemy ship, slicing a hatch. That's nuts and badass, Jack admitted. Morgan wasn't impressed. She'll get us killed, she muttered, hailing Zara. Scourge, space isn't a playground. Plan. Zara's voice was calm. Sabotage their engines. Jack pointed at the warcraft. That ship. Yes. Morgan groaned. She's unhinged. Zara slipped inside, a shadow. She fried a cultist's weapon with an EMP, then knocked him out. Another tried to alert. She jammed his comms and dropped him. She needed the engine core. These cultists knew too much. On the Star Skipper, Jack sweated. How do we not die when she blows their ship? Be ready to grab her, Morgan said. The comm crackled. Zara, panting. Need pickup. Jack blinked. That was fast. Morgan flipped controls. Where? Engine bay, Zara said. Hectic. Hectic like winning, or we're screwed? Jack asked. A pause. Bit of both. Morgan cursed. Hang on. The Star Skipper swooped close, clamps ready. Harper, open the hatch. Morgan ordered. Jack ran to the controls. Zara, be there. The hatch clanged, burst open, and Zara tumbled in, scorched and grinning. Jack gaped. Zara exhaled. Go. Jack sealed the hatch as the ship peeled away. Zara clapped his shoulder. You're useful. Jack smirked. Knew I'd grow on you. Zara brushed past. You talk too much. With fuel low, the real problem hit. We dodged a cult warship, our ship's limping, and Zara's got a death squad after her. Jack summed up. But the kicker? She won't say why. Zara, leaning on a console, spoke. It's messy. Messy. Jack snorted. Zara, you're a walking war zone. We nearly got toasted. Speed. Morgan nodded. No need for your memoirs, Zara. But we need to know who's hunting us. Zara sighed. Signer orders zealots. Jack blinked. The tech cult? Those freaks. Zara glared. No, the other cult that worships AI gods. Cool, Jack said. Why are they so obsessed with you? Zara's jaw tightened. I defied their prophecy. They think I'm their chosen weapon, built to dominate, unyielding. They want to control me. Jack shivered. I won't be controlled, Zara said. Days later, the cult caught up. The Star Skipper jumped to hyperspace, but they followed. Impossible, Morgan said. We should have lost them. Jack eyed Zara, suspicion creeping in. How do they keep finding us? Zara looked away, shame flickering. I have a biobomb. A what? Jack yelped. Where? In my sacred chamber, Zara whispered, a flush on her cheeks. The deepest, most guarded part of my being. Jack froze. Morgan swore. Why not cut out? Jack asked. It's rigged to detonate if surgically removed, Zara said, her frame slumping. It'd rip me apart. Silence. Jack swallowed. So no way to... Zara met his eyes, desperate. It needs precise mechanical pressure to deactivate. Not tools, not surgery. Something organic. Jack stared, sweat beading. Zara, you're 10 feet tall. I'm a human guy with a protrusion, but I don't know if it's up to the task. Zara's gaze held hope. You're resourceful, Jack. Try. Jack felt the walls close in. Morgan watched from the cockpit, half horrified, half intrigued. We're out of options, she said. In the medbay, tension was thick. Zara lay on a reinforced table, her expression steely but nervous. Jack stood, heart racing, grappling with the absurdity of using his protrusion to save a warlord. It felt like his first botched repair job, except now he was disarming a bomb in a Titan's sacred chamber. You sure? Jack asked, voice shaky. Do it, Zara said. Jack's hands trembled as he prepared, nerves screaming. The sacred chamber was a deeply embedded node in Zara's pelvic region, where the biobomb pulsed faintly. It needed precise, rhythmic pressure to overload its organic circuits without triggering it. Surgery or tools would set it off. Jack's anatomy was the only shot. He tried, but the scale was daunting. Zara, I'm not reaching it, he said, embarrassed. Zara's eyes flicked to him. Can you enhance it? Jack blinked, then nodded, red-faced. Yeah, human biology. I need motivation. Zara nodded, her voice steady despite the stakes. I know your species. I can help. She guided him with a mix of clinical precision and surprising gentleness, sparking the needed response. Jack's protrusion hardened, and he tried again. He felt the bomb's faint pulse. Got it, he gasped. Zara's voice was tight. Keep going. It needs rhythm. Jack focused, delivering precise, rhythmic pressure. Faster, Zara urged, gripping the table, her voice strained. The pace quickened. Jack's focus was absolute. Only he, she, and the damn bomb. One final push and Zara gasped, a shudder running through her. The bomb clicked, then fizzled out with a faint pop. She slumped, exhaling, relief flooding her face. You did it, she whispered. I'm free. No more running. We end them, Zara said, her voice iron. Jack smirked, sarcasm laced with grit. Sure, let's storm a cult stronghold. After disarming a bomb with it's just another Tuesday. The assault was chaos. Free from the bomb, Zara was a tempest, shredding defenses like foil. Jack, shockingly, held his own, using a scavenged EMP to fry cult drones. The Signer temple collapsed in a blaze of sparks. On the viewing deck, Zara gazed at the stars. I'm free, she said softly. Jack nodded. Weird, right? Owning your future. Zara glanced at him. Yes. Jack grinned. Good news. It's less scary with backup. Zara studied him, then smiled. A real, unguarded smile. You're still a fool, Jack Harper. Jack clutched his chest. High praise from the scourge. As the stars stretched endlessly, Zara rested a massive hand on his shoulder. The galaxy's fiercest warlord found trust in a scrappy human freighter. The star skipper leapt to hyperspace, carrying this odd pair toward a future full of promise, side by side.